I think that the most important message that I can offer to you today is that you're not crazy. You're not losing your mind. You're not a problem. You're not too much. You're just waking up. And this concept seems to be something that has been resonating so deeply in my own human experience. And it's something that I wanted to bring forward in these words, in this message. I also have my little sound bowl here. I was thinking of playing it a little bit while chatting. We'll see. Maybe it won't work. But this is the Tibetan sound bowl. It's a, what is it called? Pear? I have all of them, and I just brought them back from the States. And so there is a sound bowl for every chakra, for every energy system. Right now I'm thinking we need some grounding. And what has been happening recently has been insane. When we look from a bird's eye view at Earth right now, we're having solar flares, we're having hurricanes with tornadoes, with all these things, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff going on internally. Everything is just a mirror of itself. Everything is reflection inward and outward. So this planet, the chaos that we're perceiving, it's all happening within us too. And so what I was observing with all the storms and the fires and everything that has been happening close to me, like in very close proximity as I traveled back to the States and to California and to Kentucky and then here. And we've been having storms here, and there's flooding and all this stuff. In Italy. I live in Italy. I don't know that the flooding has been recent, but I was reading about how it does happen quite often here. So that one hasn't been like right on the forefront. But the point is, as I see all this chaos going on and I'm looking at my life, I'm like, well, it seems like all this stuff is shaking up for a reason, because it's more important than ever right now for the beings who came here to Earth for a purpose, for bringing in this new consciousness, for serving a divine reason and role of this shift that has to happen. I feel that it's more important than ever for us to go on that fast track of waking up and of just learning and letting go and forgiving all the things that are holding us back. And so that was what was so interesting this morning. Was yesterday I was like, I put up my Instagram story, I was like, okay, I think that the energy of the past 2 weeks is finally lifting. It was super dense, and maybe you guys felt it too, and a lot of you were like, yeah, I feel it too. And I was feeling so good, so heart-centered, so forgiving, so ready to let go of all the shit that's going on in my life here on the farm and just since getting back. And I was like, okay, it's time to be happy. Not happy, but at peace, centered again. It's like, okay, if maybe I learned the lessons, maybe I finally shifted back into the truth of who I am, I alchemized these things. And then again this morning, I was just like in an interesting state that I'm not normally in. I had a nightmare, a dream come up that just shook me. And then, of course, my friend here did something that really triggered what I had the dream about and what I experienced in my early 20s. And so I had to communicate to him the dream that I had and how that's still living inside of me, because we're not just spiritual beings, right? In this physical reality, we have these physical bodies. We are the mind, body, and soul. It is so, so important to acknowledge your body too, and acknowledge that you have these memories and these emotions that are stored within you. And you have to heal them too. I know some spiritual healers that are like, oh, I'm just light and love, but they're maybe ignoring the fact that they are light and love in this physical body, in this density. And so we have to move through those things too. And whatever is hurting right now, whatever is mentally challenging, emotionally challenging, it's happening for you because you have to speed it up. And not to put pressure on this whole experience of healing and whatnot, and like it has to happen in the right amount of time, but whatever is in front of you right now, I encourage you to observe if you're being the victim at all. Victimhood is a choice. You're never the victim. And I say that from a place of many experiences where I felt like I was the victim. These things happen for you. Maybe they were a soul contract. Maybe they were designed perfectly, divinely designed for you to go through the journeys that you had to go through in order to learn the forgiveness, the trust, the everything that you needed in this lifetime to fulfill your purpose. On the other side of what you don't want is what you do want. And so you had to experience what you don't want in order to know who you are and to know what you truly want and to know the truth of who you are, right? And so whatever is hard right now and icky and stuck and it feels stuck in your body and your memory and your mind and your spirit, it is possible to move through it. But first we have to bring it into awareness. We have to move through it. We have to acknowledge it and give it a voice. And understand that just because there's a part of you that feels that way, that has that pain, that had that experience, and that reacts to, the way that I reacted to my friend saying that thing today, I understood that there was a part of me that really went through that experience where, he said something simple like take a break because we got to dig holes later because we got a tractor here digging holes, or do whatever I was doing. And I was like, I didn't hear you say take a break. And he's like, I said it. And it was the second time that's happened in like the last 24 hours. And I was like, what? I did not hear you say it. And then I felt like my reality was not what I thought it was, which brought me back to being in a relationship with an actual narcissist. I know we use the word a lot, but it's an actual thing. And so for a long time, for 3 years, I was questioning my reality. I was questioning what was real and what wasn't, because oftentimes their tendency in that personality disorder in this human experience is to deny your own truth and your own reality and your own experience of what happened. And so that just was like, and then I was like, oh, okay, this has to heal. I have to move through this that has been living in my body right now. And I was like, I thought we were done with this dense energy, but we're never done. And if you came here for a grand reason, you also had to learn these grand lessons. You had to go to the depths of your soul to have these dark nights of the soul. It's all part of the process. And I don't want to say that it will be over soon, because there's always going to be something to learn. But right now, as we can see, if it's hard to look inside, look outside. You probably have a good understanding that this chaos has to happen, that, this strike at an attempt for control has to happen in order for people to wake up, in order for people to start remembering the truth. It's the same thing for you. You have to feel what it's like to lose your freedom, to lose your health, to lose your happiness, your love, in order to know sometimes what you truly want. Some people don't. Some humans come to Earth and they just know what they want. They're just spiritually awake, and that's the path that their soul chose. But that's not a lot of us. Maybe not you. Maybe not you right now, right? And so you will move through this time, but it's a matter of shifting awareness and shifting your perspective on what's happening. My therapist told me to look at the two people in my life who were causing, from my perspective, this tension and this reaction within my body of feeling disrespected, and my space was disrespected, and I was undervalued and not wanted, and all these things that were coming up. And she said, just when you see them, just look at them. This is important because a bug just flew into my mouth. Look at them they're people that you barely even know. Look at them like you've just met them a few days ago. Smile, wave, move on with your day. Remove the charge. You get to choose what's real or what's not real. In my 21-day program to rewire your mind, I said that so fast, 21-day program to rewire your mind, we do some exercises where you go on walks. I love visualizing and walking. And so it's a different part of your brain when your eyes are open and you're visualizing. And I like to just convince myself, like, while I'm on a walk, like, okay, so after this walk, I have to do this errand because I just bought my dream house. And so I have to, go get the documents for that. And then I have to go to the store for my new couch and sign off on that new couch. It's going to look so good in that spot. And then I have, that podcast interview with my favorite podcaster and blah, blah, blah. Right? And so right now, you are not going crazy. You're just waking up. There's a book that's called that. Can't say I actually read it, the whole thing. I think I started it. But the concept is amazing. And it's so applicable to all you star seeds and all you spiritual beings, you awake spiritual beings, those of you who have had your spiritual awakening or who are seeking the truth and who know there's more and who know that there's a reason why you're here. And maybe you know what that reason is and maybe you don't. It does not matter where you are in that. You have such an important divine reason for being here right now. And the world really needs you. And we're going through so much right now. And a lot, I feel, is going to happen soon. And, we can see that and we can stay awake to it. For some reason, I feel like it's not being completely communicated. I mean, for some reason, of course. The news and everything, it's very, very interesting how they project what's happening. And so don't let yourself be controlled. You can be controlled when you're in a low vibrational state. When you're in fear, when you're in that 3D, when you're in resentment, when you are feeling victim, when you are feeling like others determine your reality and your existence and are in control of your happiness and your peace, right? I couldn't figure this out for a while, for the past few weeks, because I felt like my peace was altered with, my space was altered with, and I was just like, it feels icky. But even if you lose everything, the point is, even if you lost everything, my friend and I used to talk about this, like letting go of attachment of everything. The beautiful home that her and I used to live in California, we're like, even if we lost this, even if we lost our car, even if we lost our friends, our family, the ones that we love most, will we be okay? The truth is, yes, of course, it will be hard. Of course, change is hard. But if you're too attached to how things are or how things should be in your perspective or how you want them to be, then you're causing resistance. You're not letting things flow in the way that they're meant to flow in. You're missing the signs and the experience that you could be having in your journey to waking up and to bringing the light forward through everything that you do. And you'll bring the light through everything that you do, mostly when you choose to follow the path of joy and curiosity. And when you do that no matter what, and you just don't do what you don't want to do anymore. And if you have to do what you have to do, if you have to do what you don't want to do for a period of time, or you perceive that you have to, make it something else. Even though you're doing it, like when I was doing community service because I had got a DUI when I was 19 and I was, I had to do my time. I was cleaning dog shit and working at the Humane Society. And I was visualizing that I was working at an animal rescue and a really important part of it. And that I, that was my life. That was what I did. And I was like, this is so wonderful. This is such a great opportunity. I love my life. My life is abundant. I started visualizing the reality that I wanted, even though it was a little far off. It was similar. There were animals, but that's about it. And they were rescue animals. But I was not anything in that situation that I was actually visualizing. So you get to choose. Now I work and live on an animal rescue and sanctuary here in Italy. And it's an amazing thing that has become a manifestation. And we get to choose, right? So whatever is undesirable in your reality, the quickest way is to quantum leap into another reality where you see things differently, and they are differently. And then you're going to shift matter. You are going to create a whole new reality where that is your reality. Vibrate as high as you can right now. Move through everything that is lingering right in front of you, that is hurting, that is present, that is stuck. It's not stuck. You might perceive it as stuck. I might have perceived it as stuck. When I had that dream this morning, I was like, why? We dated like 10 years ago. Like, why does this still keep coming up? This memory that is associated with this person. And I'm like, well, there's still karma there. There's still a charge there. There's still something to learn and move through. And when I do, I'll be at the next level of freedom in my own experience. And how exciting is that? How exciting is it that we don't just stop here? It just keeps getting better and better. So allow yourself to have that experience. It can be even better than you ever imagined. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, leave a comment if you feel called to do so. If you don't know what to say, you can say hello to Buffy, the goat, and his little shadow, the black goat. Forgetting his name, Bacho. I think it's Bacho. Buffy and Bacho. And if you want to sign up for one of my programs, I have 21 days to know your divine guidance, 21 days to rewire your mind, and one-on-one options. And I am designing a wonderful 12-week program that I will tell you guys more about soon. And I'm so excited about it. And I have a meeting with a friend soon who's going to help me put it all together pretty much and do the things that I don't love doing, but he loves doing. And so I will delegate them to the master. And I will just work on bringing all the lessons and information through that I love and know to be, what's the word? Helpful, real, true, result, proven. Just the things that I know will change your life forever and ever and ever. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Keep moving through this time. Maybe it's not dense for you. Maybe it is. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what is going on. Are you feeling it? I'm a sensitive little being, so I definitely feel all the shifts, but it is good. Everything is moving the way that it is supposed to, according to plan. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.